Amy, good morning. Certainly a lot to talk about from Washington. We are with our political analyst, Mike Haridopolos. Mike, good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend.
I did, thank you.
Let's start with this. Is the Trump travel ban in danger here? Certainly, it seems like this is eventually going to the Supreme Court.
I think without doubt it will go to the Supreme Court. But to me, the adjustments that were made in the second iteration were a better policy. It was making sure that those nations that were in a chaotic state, a civil war state, where you're not going to get concrete information, you can't let those folks come into the United States until we have a complete vetting. Just like you and I, before we get on a plane, we're going to be vetted. We want to make sure that anybody who comes to the United States is a person who's not going to do us harm.
We've also talked so much about sanctuary cities, and interesting what they've done in Texas now, essentially letting law enforcement officers pursue people and be much more aggressive than they were in the past.
Well, they want to do this because the idea is that you don't want to reward bad behavior. If there's incentives in place in Texas where you go to a city and you're getting benefits right off the bat, that's only going to encourage more people to come across the border. The governor of Texas, who lives with this problem every day, is very vigilant about this. He wants to make sure these states and these communities and sheriffs actually enforce the federal government law. It means something to have a law. You can't just pick and choose which ones you want. The governor of Texas is very aggressive about this. He wants to make sure that additional costs are not heaped on the backs of Texans.
Let's finish with Obamacare. Friday, Republicans were celebrating in the House, a big victory for them. Very different story now in the Senate. This is going to be a battle for sure.
I think this is not a couple week. I think this will be a half-long year battle. The Senate is going to completely rewrite this measure. They're going to put some changes in there. As you know, the Senate's much more moderate place. They are very concerned about pre-existing conditions specifically. I think you'll see some big changes here, but at least the House and the overall Republican leadership has shown they can show some leadership, get that bill passed, but still a long way to go. We still want to get this right because people are paying too much in deductibles, let alone monthly premiums.
And likely, just like the House, not one Democrat's going to support this. Is that kind of the expectation here?
I would be shocked if any Democrat supports this bill, maybe with the exception of Manchin out of West Virginia. But beyond that, this is going to be a Republican bill, and the Democrats going to play politics just like Republicans have the last 8 years.
Yeah, we say a lot of things are going to be a battle, but this for sure is going to be a battle in the Senate.
A monster.
All right, Mike, always great to talk to you. We will be live on Facebook Live talking about a number of topics. Then 8 o'clock, we'll talk about some of the issues in the State House with the big vote on the budget today. Amy, Bob, back to you.
Ryan, thank you. Mike.